this is on right. Hey guys, my name's Elle. Today I'm going to be filming the Booktube About Me tag. This is kind of similar to the Booktube Newbie tag, but this one is more centered towards me, letting you guys get to know me. So yeah, I'm gonna get right into it. I will link the creator of this tag down below, or the first person I can find at least that did it. Yeah. So the first question is, what do you study / what is your job? I study anthropology. I'm an anthropology major. I'm getting a minor in art history. Yeah. What is your favorite social? Oh, and I don't have a job. I have jobs on and off. At the moment, I don't have a job. Number 2, what is your favorite social media channel? My favorite social media channel, if you're talking about Booktube, Read with Cindy, would be my favorite. But if you're talking about just in general, I like Alexandria Ryan. I like Be Busta, Lazy Masquerade, Urban Sims. Yeah, people. I was saying people like that, but those from different groups. Actually, Be Busta and Lazy Masquerade are kind of like the same person. I always get their videos confused. But yeah, those would be the people. Yeah. If you had another channel, what would it be about? Kind of going along with what I was just talking about. I would have loved to have a channel like a sim channel. I don't know, Sims channel, like Urban Sims or Plumbella or something like that. Also reading scary stories like Lazy Masquerade or Be Busta would be fun. Yeah, so one of those two, I guess. Do you play any instruments? I do not. I did take guitar lessons for a while, but I don't play any instruments. I sing, but not very well. But I still do it quite a lot, so, you know, some people consider voice an instrument. Even if I'm not playing it well, I'm still playing it. Next one is, what hobbies do you have other than reading? My biggest hobby, which is not around now, but would be traveling. Me and my fiance love to travel. We usually go on a couple of big trips a year. This year we have not gotten to go on any trips. We were supposed to go to Bali, and we were also supposed to go to Europe, but both of those trips have been canceled. So that would be my thing, my other hobby, but I haven't been able to do that. So I like to read. I play Sims, if that's considered a hobby, or video games in general, I guess. Not like hardcore video games, but like Sims, sometimes play World of Warcraft or something like that. Anything else? No, I would say those are the big ones. Favorite TV shows? My favorite TV shows would be Once Upon a Time. Love that show. It's about stories and like fairy tales, and I just love it. Lost. What else? Supernatural. How I Met Your Mother. Anything else? I'll put those on my top 4 favorite shows. What got you into reading is the next question. And for this one, I would just say my mother. My mom has always loved to read, and from the time I was a baby, from when I was a baby, I wouldn't remember that, would I? But I'm sure she did it anyways when I was a baby. But from the time I was small, she would just fill my head with all these different stories of princesses and fairy tales. And actually, this beat up book is a book that my mother wrote and inscribed to all of her children. It was actually, the inscription she wrote was written before I was born, but then she added me at the end, which was nice. It says, "My beautiful children, all of our names, fairy tales help you to build dreams. May all your dreams be good and all your hopes fulfilled. Love, Mom." And then I stole it. It was in my mom's house, and I didn't think anybody else was going to take it, and I'm the youngest, so I was the last one in the house, so I was like, well, I guess it's mine now. But she would always read fairy tales to us. She could come up with stories on the spot, and if I was ever bored, instead of saying to turn on the TV or anything like that, she would tell me to read a story. And she also led by example, because my mom always had a book in her hand. I can recall very few times seeing my mom without a book. If I was outside playing, my mom would be reading a book. If me and my mom were watching a movie together, she would be reading a book. So I guess it just kind of rubbed off on me. Yeah. What are your favorite and least favorite genres? My favorite genres are fantasy and what else? Are fantasy and nonfiction history books. As interesting as that sounds, I just really like so I'm saying anthropology. I love learning about past civilizations, past different things. Also, you'll hear me when I talk about what I'm studying. Sometimes I say archaeology, sometimes I say anthropology. Archaeology is a field within anthropology. So anthropology has 4 fields, and archaeology is one of the 4 fields. So specifically, I want to do archaeology, and I want to get a master's degree in archaeology after I finish my anthropology degree. But the university I go to just offers anthropology as a whole, and then afterwards you take a master's in archaeology, or you specialize afterwards at my university. Some universities you can go directly into archaeology. But yeah, so that's why sometimes I'll interchange the two. But anyhow, so my favorite are nonfiction history, my favorite are nonfiction history and fantasy. My least favorite would probably be sci-fi. Not that I'm going to say these 2 genres, but I don't dislike all these genres, and I definitely want to read more of these genres and get more into them. Just if I had to pick off the top of my head what are my 2 least favorite, I would say sci-fi and thrillers. Not that I've never read a good sci-fi book. I've actually never read a good thriller book, but that's just because I haven't read many thriller books. I've probably read 2, maybe. But yeah, those are my 2 least favorites. That doesn't mean I don't like them. I would definitely give them a chance, and if there are any really good, I'm definitely looking at really good thriller and sci-fi recommendations. What books define your childhood? I kind of talked about this in the Booktube Newbie Tag, but I would definitely say Twilight is one book that defined my childhood. It came out when I was in elementary school, actually, and I probably read that book, the series, 20 times from elementary school until like the middle of high school. I just read the book. I would go through periods where I would read the whole series and then immediately just start over and just read the whole series again. My weekend would be, oh, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I read the Twilight series next week. No, what'd you do this weekend? I read the Twilight series. I have no idea why. I would just read it over and over and over again. Because I have issues. I don't have any other excuses. So I'd say Twilight, Boxcar Children, I've mentioned before on the Booktube Newbie Tag. Boxcar Children defined my childhood. I loved the first book especially. I don't remember the other books as well, but it was like a mystery series, and in the first book the kids, I believe they're orphans, and they're living in a boxcar, and they just have to like scrounge for things, and I don't know, it's interesting to me for some reason. I always have this fascination with like living off the land. One day maybe. They weren't really living off the land, they were just living in a boxcar, which is kind of sad if you think about 4 kids living in a boxcar. But yeah, so I would say Boxcar Children. Is there any other series that I would say define my childhood? No, I'm gonna stick with those ones. Those would be the top 2, or books, I guess it has. And then the last question is, tell us an interesting fact about you. Not particularly interesting. Another hobby I have. Let me just jump back there. Because I was going to say I like to cook, and then I was like, oh, that's kind of a hobby. I do like to cook and I like to bake. I don't have anything else to say. I like to cook and bake. I do those a lot. Come up with new recipes, especially with baking. Sometimes I just go to the kitchen and I'm like, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and then I'll put a very small sample size in the oven and see what it does, and I'll taste it and I'll be like, okay, let's add a little bit of salt, like I'm some like professional chef. When really I'm just an idiot in the kitchen. But yeah, I like doing that. And an interesting fact about me though, I don't really know. I'm the youngest of 5. I am from North Carolina, but I currently live in Alberta, Canada. I moved here to be with my significant other, but the rest of my family is in North Carolina. That's interesting. No, that's it. Sorry, guys. Anyhow, that was just a quick little video. I already did the Booktube Newbie Tag, but I saw this tag and it was just kind of more getting to know me. So I wanted to do it, and it was a nice video to get out to, and it was a nice video to get out to you guys. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please come back next time.